Hello everybody, this is Money Mom. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about the advantages and disadvantages of stockpiling groceries. Freezer, refrigerator, pantry. So let me get started. Stockpiling can be an excellent way to save money, but it could cost you more if you're not sure how to do it. I'm just going to briefly go over some points of advantages and disadvantages, and then you guys can weigh in the comments below. So, one of the advantages, number one, is if your income is cut or if you have extra expenses that week that weren't expected, your money that usually goes towards grocery budget can help you out in another area because you can use the food that you have at home, whether maybe you have things, extra food in your freezer and pantry, things like that. Some people have a deep freeze and they know how to take care of their food and they know how to store it where it doesn't get freezer burn. So it could really help you out in that situation. Number two, if you decide to do a no spend, and a no spend, we've talked about this incessantly, you can do all different kinds. You could do it on groceries, you could do a no spend on everything except for basic needs. But if you've got everything you need at home and you really want to do hardcore no spend to save some money for whatever reason that you would like, that could really help if you've got a really good stockpile. Number three, you can share with friends or family or somebody in need. That can always be a blessing to them. Number four, you do not have to go grocery shopping probably as often. And the more we go out to the stores, the possibility of spending more money. So if you go, and you get some great deals, and let's just say you've got a load of stuff in your freezer and you're like, I really need to use what I have. And it's tough because these sales out there always create urgency. But you don't have to go shopping as much as if you really have a good stockpile, which could save you more money. Number five, if it's bad weather, that could be a lot of rain, that could be ice and snow, or even if it's like over 100 degrees. Certain inclement weather people may want to stay home rather than getting outdoors. I'm from Minnesota originally. I live in Dallas, Texas now. You know the difference from the weather from that area. Number six, you may have more of a variety of food because you've got stockpiles of all different kinds because maybe you bought it on clearance, you bought it in bulk, you've got great deals, and you've prepared it. So let's just say you have some fruit that you got on clearance because maybe it was bruised a little bit. You might be canning that food, making jam out of it, or you use it for smoothies. So when you get all of this food, you chop it up and you prepare it and have it stored in a proper manner so that you can utilize it. Number seven, it could really save you money if you know what you're doing when you stockpile. You know how to store things, you know how to date things. So let me bring you to the disadvantages. Number one, you could end up wasting food. I remember in my couponing days, I used to watch extreme couponing, and there was one lady that had like 100 cake mixes. She did donate some of it, but why would anyone need 100 cake mixes? Unless they're going to be donating a bunch to different organizations, I don't really see a purpose. I also had some people that I knew that were in veggie co-ops. A lot of the fruits and veggies they didn't end up eating. They ended up throwing them away. That when they got the fruits and veggies, they just put them in the refrigerator instead of preparing them or, chopping up and freezing them for out of season or even just sharing them. I was part of the veggie co-op and I actually got a half of it and our family couldn't use it all. And guess what? I didn't throw away anything. I shared it with my neighbors so that it didn't go to waste. So number two, also, you might not have space for some of these things, which could cause you to end up not knowing what you have because things get stuck behind and ends up getting expired and you throw it out. Number three, you really need to have a system to track everything. Many of the people that are preppers out there have excellent systems. They garden, they can, they really love it, and they prepare for their family. Homestead Tessie, for example, and Prepper Princess are two young ladies that have done an excellent job of this, and they don't waste any food that I know of, and they also have a way to track everything and have a very organized system. So if you have a way to organize all of this, your freezer, pantry, refrigerator, then it could definitely be worth it. But if you're not doing that, you could be wasting money. Number four, you could end up buying and spending more money than what you need because maybe you've got a smaller family. And believe me, you're always chasing the next great deal out there because when these sales create urgency, so you may buy more, and if you don't use it, you can end up wasting it. Number five, this is one thing that always kind of scares me. If you have a freezer full of all this meat, and let's say it's all stored, cut up, put away, nice and neat where it doesn't get freezer burn, and you've got a power outage that lasts more than 24 hours, that could be an issue. And that's one thing that always kind of startled me a little bit. Number 6, and this is a big one for me, you could overeat. And I've done this, and that's part of the reason sometimes, and this is my own fault, but frugality for me can sometimes mean, oh, I don't want to waste that food and have it go to waste, and I like the stockpile of food, so let me eat it. So that could be a disadvantage because it could cause you to overeat if you're not careful of how you store things. So let me know, guys, what are advantages and disadvantages of stockpiling? Do you stockpile food, and do you have any tips on how to do it so that we don't waste food, and any system that you use that could be helpful to those of us that do want to stockpile for future needs? This is Money Mom signing off, and as always, I love you. Bye-bye.